Number 10. The Hookman. There are few things that are more universally terrifying than a hook-handed killer who stalks lovers' lanes at night, specifically targeting young couples in their parked cars. The Hookman is a legendary slasher who has appeared in countless stories across the world. But where did he come from? Well, like most urban legends, there are dozens of theories about the Hookman's origins. One of the most popular claims that he's an escaped mental patient who killed his wife and then began stalking couples as a way to get back at society for his incarceration. Another theory claims that he's a former traveling salesman who was horribly injured in a car accident and then turned to murder and mayhem as a way to cope with his pain. And perhaps the most disturbing theory claims that he's a spirit who inhabits the body of whoever happens to be near him when he's summoned. This last theory might explain why people who have encountered the Hookman in their nightmares have described him in different ways, sometimes as a shadow figure or even a faceless man. Number 9. The Vanishing Hitchhiker. While hitchhiking is a relatively safe way to travel, especially if you're doing it in a rural area, there are a few urban legends surrounding this practice that might make you think twice before sticking your thumb out on the side of the road. One of the most famous stories comes from a Texas radio station that received a call from a terrified hitchhiker in the early 1970s. The man explained that he had been traveling with 3 friends when their car broke down. He and one other friend stayed behind to fix the car, while the others went to a nearby gas station to get some tools. But when they returned, they found the 2 men were gone. They waited around for a while, but when their friends still hadn't returned, they eventually left. That same day, 2 other motorists reported picking up a pair of hitchhikers who fit the exact description of the missing men. But when they dropped them off at their destination, they too vanished without a trace. Despite numerous searches, the hitchhikers were never found, and the case remains unsolved to this day. Number 8. The Almoloya Dolls. If you've ever driven through Mexico, you may have seen these creepy dolls hanging from bridges and overpasses. They might look like rag dolls or even voodoo dolls, but they actually represent a much darker legend. In the 1970s, a group of artists created the first Alma doll as a symbol of the thousands of women who had gone missing in Mexico. Since then, people have continued to make and display these dolls to bring attention to the issue. But seeing as most of these dolls are made to look like the victims of violent crimes, it's understandable that some people believe displaying them is actually a bad omen that brings misfortune to those who see them. Number 7. The Woman in Black. The Woman in Black is an infamous figure in ghost stories, often depicted as a mysterious woman wearing all black who appears as a harbinger of death and misfortune. One of the most famous stories about her comes from the British author Susan Hill, who wrote a novella about a young lawyer who travels to a remote village to settle the estate of a recently deceased client. While there, he meets a mysterious woman in black who warns him that something terrible is going to happen. Of course, he doesn't listen and soon finds out that she was right. But despite the fact that this story is almost 200 years old, people still report seeing a woman in black at various cemeteries and graveyards all the time. Coming up, the Reaper, grim, the personification of death. You won't want to miss this. But first, I want to give a big shout out to some supporters. Thanks so much for watching and supporting the channel. If you are new here, be sure to join the family. Number 6, the Reaper. The Reaper is a terrifying figure who appears in many different cultures, often depicted as a skeletal or demonic being who carries a scythe and sucks the souls out of the recently deceased. While most people believe that the Reaper is nothing more than a personification of death, some claim that he is an actual demon who feeds on human souls. One story about the Reaper comes from a cemetery in Vermont, where a séance was held in the 1800s. During the ritual, the participants began to experience strange and terrifying events, including moving objects, shaking tables, and even the appearance of a mysterious black dog. Some believe that the black dog was actually the Reaper himself, who was trying to warn them not to disturb the dead. Number 5. Bloody Mary. Bloody Mary is perhaps one of the most famous ghosts in history, known for haunting bathrooms and appearing in mirrors to unsuspecting victims. The legend claims that if you turn off all of the lights in the bathroom, stare directly into the mirror and say the name 3 times, then Mary will appear behind you and do horrible things. While there are countless stories about Bloody Mary, the most popular claims that she is the ghost of a woman who was murdered by her husband after he discovered that she was having an affair. Number 4. Skinwalker. The Skinwalker is a horrifying creature in Navajo folklore, often depicted as a malevolent witch who can transform into various animals, including wolves, coyotes, and bears. These creatures are said to be incredibly powerful and evil, and those who encounter them in the forest are said to be doomed. While the Skinwalker is a relatively unknown figure outside of Navajo culture, there have been reports of similar creatures in other Native American cultures, as well as in modern horror movies and TV shows. Number 3. Ghosts. Ghosts are perhaps the most famous cryptid of all time, known for haunting houses, interacting with the living, and seeking revenge. While many people believe that ghosts are nothing more than the souls of the dead, others claim that they are real entities who can interact with our world. There have been countless reports of ghosts throughout history, and many people claim to have experienced one themselves. But whether or not ghosts really exist is a mystery that may never be solved. Number 2. The Beast of Gévaudan. The Beast of Gévaudan is a mysterious creature said to have lived in France in the 18th century. It is described as a large, ferocious animal with sharp claws and teeth that was responsible for the deaths of hundreds of people. While many believe that the beast was a werewolf, others claim that it was a bear or even a man-eating dog. Despite numerous attempts to capture or kill the beast, it was never found, and its existence remains a mystery to this day. Number 1. Jack the Ripper. Jack the Ripper is perhaps the most infamous serial killer of all time. He is known for his brutal murders of women in London's Whitechapel district in the late 1800s. Despite numerous investigations, the case remains unsolved, and the identity of Jack the Ripper continues to be debated by historians and theorists to this day. Thanks for watching. What's your favorite scary legend? Let me know in the comments below. And remember, if you want to see more videos like these, just click here. Bye.